Yo, yo, I'm back doing art and junk. I don't know. Let's do some art and junk. So it's been a while. Been a while since I did some art and junk. I don't even know what I'm drawing. I'm kind of just doing some scribble stuff. You can join along or just listen to me. That's fine. It's gonna be about an hour. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm kind of just looking for something, looking for a thing. Should title this series Preston draws a random thing, or Razwit, because that's, what if it's just a face? Just a close up, a head. Yeah, we'll do a head. Freaking a head. All right, that's not bad. This ugly looking guy, right? I don't know. So how have you been? Or if you're watching me for the first time, how are you now? How has your day gone well? You know what I want to do with this? I want to add a layer and just make this all darker. That seems nice to me, right? Let's just make that a multiply layer. Sounds fine. It's all good. I could just probably flatten all this. It's probably for the best. Just do that. Yeah, so my cat. Let me talk about my cat. I know that sounds like out of the blue random. But this is what my cat looks like. It's pretty nasty. She had some issues with mats on her back, giving this guy like massive boobs. Maybe he's armored. Can we make him armored? This is gonna be pretty generic. That's what happens when you just like don't know, you don't have a plan. What the hell is happening? Computer's slowing down. Yeah, so we went to the vet, had her shaved, and that's what she looked like. But it's all right. She's fine with it. She's old as crap too. I think she's approaching 19, or is already 19. I can't remember what they said. She is really old. I think I must have been 9 when we got her. Now she is up there in years, and she poops all over the place because she doesn't know where she is, and she doesn't really clean herself because of arthritis, and then mats happen. That's what happens when you get old. Do I want this to be a knight or like a cyberpunk? I don't know. Let's just put some white. Let's see what happens when we just start to add white. Yeah, I don't know. I'm comfortable with the fantasy stuff. So this seems fine to me. Let's see what this looks like flipped. It's okay. Oh, the poor cat. Yeah. She's happy. She's purring. Man, it must have felt awful to have all those mats. Let's choose a direction for the light source. I feel like the light source is going to come from like up here. Bleep. I don't know. Let's get rid of that. No! What am I doing? So I'm told at we're probably past the 3-minute mark, but freaking, I'm looking at the Google Analytics and everyone's dropping out at 3 minutes. Do I not interest you at all? 21 subscribers? Obviously, I don't interest enough people. No, this. You know what? The art thing is kind of. It's like why I made the YouTube channel. And I like hardly ever make art because it's I'm under NDA for freaking 90% of it. And then the Heroes Tiers stuff, I always forget to record because I'm an idiot. That's how I am. Oops, I want black. I do want black. Drawings go fast when you don't have to draw like a face of someone. You know? God, I got stuff. All right, so, oh man, dealing with some serious like ego problem. Ego? Is that the right word? Serious confidence issues. That's what I'm gonna go with here, because I got I do work for this company, and today for the first time, I don't know if it was was it the first time? Well, I've been doing stuff for them for quite some time. And this art director who I really like, has always raved about my work and everything. Been very happy. Today, said when I sent in finals, like, this isn't finished. And I was like, oh, no. What? Because it looked great to me. It looked great. So I don't know. Like, I'm a little. I think it's okay. I'm just gonna talk about it since I didn't mention at all who they were, and I'm not going to because I really like the art director. I don't want to make them seem, bad or anything, but what it seemed like happened, because there's another art director for the same company who always kind of does the same thing, but it seems like really good stuff is reject, or like they just ask for more detail added. Like no matter what you do, just please add more detail. And I think I like, maybe this is a conspiracy theory, but what I think is happening here is that an executive person who is in no way involved in the art, but involved in like paying for all the projects, has said, from time to time, just randomly ask for more detail. Because, I'm looking at my stuff, and I'm looking at stuff that this company regularly puts out, and I am not the most confident person. In fact, I would say I am not. I'm just the opposite. I exude whatever the opposite of confidence is. Whatever that word is. Anyway, yeah, so I am just not a confident person, but most of what this company puts out is, I think, a few steps below what I generally produce and what I'm producing in these instances. So I don't know. My thought was that they're just being told, because I know this kind of stuff happens. Strangely, this kind of stuff happens with the executives. Like they want the people that they're paying for art. I don't know why why did I put this on this side? The shadow needs to be over here. This needs to be darkened. I got confused when I flipped it. But yeah, I don't know. They always ask for ridiculous things to be done. For example, one company their executives sent out some sort of letter that was like, you can have the chance to like work on our game and do a bunch of concept work for it, and they were offering no pay. It's like, well, that's work, right? And they're like sending this to all the artists that have done work for them and everything. It's like they were clearly asking for free work. yeah, it's just really strange. It's like I think I don't know if the executives have any idea what's going on. Like, because the people who don't work on art or haven't worked on art, because I know that, like, having talked with a few art directors, like behind the scenes from various companies, like they they're always sort of apologetic, like about how things are working. Because the people in charge just like do not give a crap what you're making, as an artist. They have no empathy. They're just like, can we get this art for free? No. What's the next best option? All right, we'll do that. People are desperate. People really want to work, do this stuff, because for what it's worth, my opinion, it's like this kind of work, the fantasy sci-fi stuff, just drawing cool pictures all day, you get to create some awesome freaking stuff, and it's my favorite stuff to create. So the issue with all of it is that it pays horribly unless you get into the movie side of things, but you have to be extremely good and extremely fast to do that. I am not at that point, frankly, but I am at some kind of point. Anyway, there's just a huge gap between who pays fairly and who pays not fairly. It's a massive jump. To give you an example, it's like basically you go from being paid $100 a piece, which is absurd because I know some artists can spend like 4 hours and make something decent happen, and there's all sorts of tricks that I don't really enjoy using. I try to avoid. Like, there's a poser, and by that I don't mean like a person poser. I mean there is a program that spits out images of people in 3D. Like, you can turn a pose around and make it look correct. Sort of looks like a SWAT guy. Let's give him a plume. Looks pretty good. There's a so it's like a program. You can turn a body around in 3-dimensional space and then make a JPEG image of that, and then put it into like a Photoshop type program, and it's like just a quick way to get a body onto your picture. But it's so stiff, and frankly, I just hate doing that. It feels like a cheat, and it's like I did not like learn all this art stuff for just inputting some crap and having it spit out. I basically hate everything that has to do with like getting a quick result, even though I like have to use it to, not that specifically, but you have to use some shortcuts to get the right result. But I'm very sort of traditional art oriented, but anyway, my point is it takes me around 16 hours to turn out some of these pieces, most of them I would say, and yeah, frankly, it's like I get paid for like a day's work for a week's worth of work is what ends up happening, because there's such a huge gap between the companies that do pay. Like Wizards, for example, pays what I would say is a fair rate for the amount of time that I am personally spending on artwork, but I have not been hired by Wizards ever. And specifically Magic, I think D&D pays a little bit less. I'm not sure exactly how much, but it's like you can only afford so much it's like when you're putting stuff in books. But they understand the contract side of things as well, where it's like if you're doing a work for hire contract, you need to pay work for hire prices. you're essentially paying for two things. You're paying, one, for the image to be created, and two, for the rights for the image to be created. In fact, that's most of what you're paying for. And yeah, a lot of companies just take that for granted, and artists are willing to work for them because they want to work for those higher end companies later. And it's like you feel like you have to pay your dues and work your way up the stepping stone. But I don't know. If you're young enough, say you're still in high school, and you're like, gee, I would really like to make magic art. Well, freaking sit down. Don't like, you don't need to pay bills yet, right? Do some studies of just master paintings, and you'll learn a lot from that. Study anatomy. This is stuff I didn't do. It's like I was doing like still lifes occasionally, but I wasn't drawing enough, and I wasn't doing studies like I should have been. And now it's like I don't even have the time to do the stuff that I need to. Like I will practice when I have the time, but it's like sketches here and there of like, all right, this is how kind of a muscle looks on just like the forearm, and then I have to like go to working on other stuff. It's like you don't even have time. You basically have to do all the practice like on the job almost, which it's like whatever, but it's like not very focused practice. So if I'm drawing a skeleton, I can't practice muscle. If I'm doing a character, I can't practice scenery. Because you can't focus on that. It has to be sort of blurred out in the background. It has to be believable, but at the same time, it's not like a fully rendered city, and it's like you don't have time for it either. I don't know. Anyway, so God, where was I going with that? Well, I got off track, but anyway, back to the night guy. This guy looks all right. I don't know about this big collar thing I'm drawing. This doesn't really make sense. This would be the point where I'd like look up a reference for knight armor and be like, oh, I'm way off base here. But we're gonna keep going with. We're just gonna force it through. That's what's gonna happen here. Forcing it through on this knight. Looks pretty good. So yeah, you know what I was thinking of doing, and post in the comments if you think this is like a cool idea. I was thinking Patreon. I think I may have mentioned this like months ago in a different video, but Patreon. I was thinking of doing like a like playmat Patreon. I've never used Patreon, so but what I want to do is like you vote on that month's playmat, and then it gives me something to like. It's almost like an extra assignment for me personally, and I could price it fairly for me for the time I put in, because what I'm it's like, yeah, I need fair paying jobs. I can't pay the bills with the assignments I currently get, but yeah, it was just like a thought I had. I was like, yeah, I draw better than I'm getting paid for, and I thought playmats would be a pretty cool thing, because people could sort of vote, like, as I accumulate fans, as I'm starting to, I don't mean through YouTube, but artistically, it's like I think people would appreciate custom playmats, like something that they kind of decided into existence, if that makes any sense, instead of like I'm gonna draw a random picture, put it on a playmat, and maybe people will buy it. I think it would be cool to have a Patreon that sort of decided which playmat was gonna be. But I don't know. I need to do more research into that as far as like if anyone's doing that, and if people like, how would I get people to vote on that? Can you do that through Patreon, or would I have to do that through a different social networking sort of thing? You know what? I'm gonna go into this guy's eyes. Sort of reminded me of Bane a little bit. I was born in the darkness, molded by it. I am the knight. See, he's the knight. Do you get it? Do you get it? Because he's a knight in this particular scenario. You're a douchebag, Batman. I'm going to break your back for it. Well, that's not very nice, Bane. I don't give two flying hoots. Well, hell, man. The eye doesn't have a ton of dimension, but, you know, how much does it really need, realistically? I like that. I like all of it. That seems fine to me. Do you want to move to color? Let's do that. Let's move exactly to color. See, do I want to do a color layer? See, I've been doing color layers. I find... Let's just... not saturation. Color. So... God dang it. All right. What I want to do... Let's put... Because color... I don't know. Like, it's been kind of awkward for me lately. I don't know why. I'm just going to do this. Like a slight tinge, I guess. You can change the opacity on this, I guess, but... I don't know, I always end up like just doing soft light and it feels better. But I think that really depends on what you're drawing, how dark it is, how extreme the values are. Like, what if I did soft light here, would it look better? Sort of looks, I don't know, because I don't want it to be like super saturated. I don't know. I've been messing around with that. I just like... But I tend to undersaturate my work, I would say. Like... It's very close to grayscale. I think on the last, if you care to listen to a podcast, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, One Fine Week or One Fantastic Week, is that what it is? I think it was Pete Morbacher. I just discovered it because Wiley Becker is on there, and you know, Wiley's a cool person. Got to talk with her at the last Spectrum Live. Go to it if you have the chance and the money. Very cool. It's like just a huge collection of all the best artists. I will be showing there, so obviously I'm calling myself a best artist. I don't think that's accurate, but I am a good artist, I would say. Good, but not great. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Wiley was talking about on One Fantastic Week that she used to desaturate her work so much and didn't realize she was doing it. I'm just gonna put a little... See, this is where I run into issues. Let's do linear dodge, and then we can just erase this crap. Ugh. Put like a blue glow or something on the opposite side. Anyway, she was saying like her work, I forget what thing she was doing. It was like a art director challenge or something with Lauren Penapento. But she discovered that her work was super desaturated, and when she fixed it, her old stuff like looked almost black and white by comparison to her new stuff. So, you know, it's always something I'm considering when I make pieces, especially for card art. I think it's fine. Like when you're doing stuff for book covers, I think, desaturate it. That's fine. You want that more elegant look, I guess, and not so poppy. I'm gonna desaturate, or not desaturate. Drop the opacity on that. And I think it would be good to probably take a softer brush approach to this. Just do that. Nice soft brush. Good brush. Good brush. You're a soft brush. Yes, you are. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I like that light. I like it. Let's put it up here too. Why not? And then like the sun. Let's get the sun in there. Let's do instead. Let's go with a colored dodge layer. Why not? Color dodge, and then I'm gonna that was an accident, but we're gonna fill it with black, and basically you can't see black on screen. Stuff. I don't know how much of a tutorial I want this to be, but anyway, I'm taking some yellow. Let's drop the flow. This is reminding me a little bit of Kid Chameleon for some reason. Not Kid Chameleon. I mean, it did because it's like the only Sega game I ever think about. Ghouls and Ghosts? Is that the game? I'm trying to think if it was Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins. Or, I can't remember all the names of the stupid sequels. Oh, what game was it? I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was Ghouls and Ghosts, but yeah, you could get like the gold armor, and this sort of reminds me of that gold armor. This is really gold. This is more gold than I was anticipating when I began this. But I'm liking the shininess of it. I think it's working. It's a little bit too hot. I don't know. Let's drop this a little bit. Drop it like it's hot. I'd say it's probably fine there. It's a little bright in spots, but whatever. I'm just gonna flatten it. Add some freaking multiply. I was watching some. Who was it? Who was it that did the multiply layer? Oops. That's not how saturated I want that to be. God, I can't remember the artists. I've been listening to so many podcasts. The saturation up, maybe. Who was it? Who was it? I can't even think. I can't think of who it was. Probably drop the opacity just a hair, and then I can go in and like just erase portions. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember, but yeah, they were basically painting like this. They'd build up a bunch of texture and then go in and make something happen. I'm really sorry that I can't remember your name, bro. Or the name of the podcast, frankly. God, what was it? I am just the worst person. I'm like referencing something and can't give a link to it. Can't even tell you. This feels pretty good to paint this way. Get stuff done really fast. You get the idea across. I mean, this is more concept art stuff than it is illustration, but I mean, this would be pretty acceptable, I think, for a lot of projects. Just trying to get the idea across. I'm just gonna. It's maybe too much. I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. Yeah, we don't want that. Not at all. I'm just going to drop the opacity on this a little bit. Yeah, it seems fine. Yeah. Let's add some color a little bit. A little bit of color. Go with the skin tone. Why is he white? Let's make him darker skin a little bit. It's really difficult, I noticed, for illustration, because I always try to like not go with the white male. That seems to be the default in basically almost any illustration, especially in fantasy sci-fi. But yeah, so what I noticed is when you're drawing basically black people, people who are not white, their skin, basically what happens is when you have black skin, you have less, I can't remember that chemical or the thing, but basically, or no, you have more of the thing. God, I'm stupid. Well, you have more of whatever thing gives your skin pigment, but for some reason when you're drawing that means your skin is less saturated in color. It's just very difficult to draw that. I'm trying to get better. There's an orange, there's a certain like orange tint that you can add. It makes people look really lifelike if they have black skin. I'm trying to work on that because I don't it's like I'm kind of sick of seeing white people in illustrations. I think it's just, I don't know, the market's oversaturated with that crap. Oh wow, I flattened the image, huh? I don't know how that happened. Let's go in there. So if I add some like orangey, see, this is the point where I'd like get reference for skin color, skin tone. This is definitely a portion that I need to go in with a multiply layer and just kind of ease in a shadow. What kind of shadow? I'm going to go with purple, like a purpley shadow. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to promote diversity. I mean, just like flip through. Well, a lot of companies are getting really good with it recently, but if you flip through like an old, I think even version like 3.5 D&D, that's like when I was in high school. Not too long ago. I mean, we're talking like a decade ago, basically. But I really don't think there's any non-white people except for orcs in that book. Could be wrong. Like that's just memory, but it wasn't thought about, I don't think, at that time. Now a lot of people are thinking about it because they're getting a lot of flack for it around the industry for race and gender, or I'm going to say sex, race and sex representation. Gender is kind of a different thing, but I guess gender works in this context. whatever. I don't know. This is an alright drawing. I'm gonna leave it at that. I want to keep this video short, so there it is. What if I added? Hold on. Wait. All right. I'm just gonna grab some of this, make it a little bit darker down here. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just a little bit in there. Oh wait, we're still in the multiply layer. Get off of that. Let's get a freaking linear dodge. We'll turn it down. It's too gaudy. It's a little slow too. A little bit. All right. A little bit in there too. A little bit of speckle in there. And then maybe a few, let's just scratch them up. Scratch them up a little bit. We'll ease this back. We'll turn it down a little bit. All right. Let's turn down for what? Turn down for what? Do. Seems good. All right, we're good. Hey, maybe click like and subscribe, or dislike and subscribe. I don't really give a crap if you dislike it. You click that dislike button. All right, I'll see you all later. Sorry for rambling at you and not like ending any of my points. I'm pretty sure I lost all of what I was talking about during the course of this video. But yeah, someday I will finish a thought, and you might be able to see it if you click subscribe, and then, you know, you can follow me and watch a later video. Okay, bye.